LeBron
He ain't fooling nobody.
What is this, 23? Oh, my goodness.
22nd consecutive NBA All-Star selection. How about that?
LeBron is now officially a 22-time All-Star, even if people are saying he was guaranteed the spot by default.
There were numerous snubs, numerous guys who were slighted in favor of LeBron James because he's LeBron James.
There just there's no objective case for him over Kawhi. It's just like there's just no way to make it.
His numbers are way better than LeBron's. He's played in more games than LeBron, all those things. It's his home arena, the Intuit Dome.
Another one that's obvious, LeBron shouldn't be an all-star this season. Argue with the wall. He's just not good enough. It's just a reputation appearance.
I think you get the point. I'll start by acknowledging the snubs, and a good video to react to is one by a YouTuber called blacktopbuckets. It's called NBA All-Star Voting is a complete joke, and he talks about more than LeBron by going over the East All-Stars as well, but I'm just going to focus on what he says about LeBron, aka the GOAT. And if you couldn't tell, I'm probably a bit biased. LeBron's my favorite player, but I'm going to be as fair as possible with these assessments.
Another one is Dillon Brooks.
Okay, I know that was fast, but he's got to be trolling. He did say in the video he understands why Dillon's not an all-star, but he personally thinks he should get the nod, at least over LeBron. Some people actually believe he should be there because he's an enforcer like a Draymond Green role, so it's more than just stats. But what I have to say in response to that is...
I don't care, he's old.
You what?
I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
Those moments are actually pretty funny. But in all reality, you do want someone like Dillon Brooks on your team, with that defensive focus and especially with his offensive jump this year. He's just not close to the all-star status. Just yet. I think the numbers show that too. And I'd say the majority of people think that as well. I just thought I'd get a slam dunk out of the way, especially with the rivalry LeBron and Dillon have been cooking up as of recently. Now we get to one of the biggest snubs in all-star history. And it's Kawhi Leonard. Oh, wait, never mind.
He's back!
The video I'm reacting to was made before he got added in, so I'm gonna make the comparison as if he didn't make it. I am glad he made it though, I just wish it wasn't under weird circumstances. The America versus the world format seems a little odd, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Anyways, here's the clip.
Next, the big one, Kawhi Leonard. This is one of the biggest snubs I've ever seen. He's averaging 28 a game and dominating his last 20 games. I'd understand it if the Clippers were still a bottom feeder, but this feels like the coaches are just sticking it to Kawhi for the aspiration scandal.
Okay, I'm gonna start with this because Kawhi faced really no punishment from the NBA for this, and it's all but confirmed legally he was getting an extra guaranteed paycheck whether he played or not. I'm not one to question players when they sit out with injuries, but when I saw this, it made me less trustful, especially when there was no consequences for the CBA violations. He is the definition of load management, and if it wasn't discovered, what's the odds he plays all the games he played this season? This isn't a knock on his playing, he looks like he's close to his prime this season, but you have to take narratives in when making basically all basketball award decisions, or Jokic should be a 5-time MVP in a row, which he should. But like, you should never be hitting a game winner like this, and then getting comments like, 100 more of these and we're square. Like, it's funny and crazy at the same time. But I'm now just going to talk about basketball, who's better skill-wise. Looking at stats, Kawhi scores a bit more than LeBron, and when watching games is definitely a better defender. I can't really argue there. Playmaking though, is a different level. LeBron creates so much during games, and often wide open shots or lobs right on target. They're also in different roles though, Kawhi being the number 1 option, and LeBron at the moment being the number 2 option, at least until Austin Reeves is fully back in action. And then there's the matter of team success. I know people see the big win streak the Clippers went on, going 13-3 or whatever it was, but if you truly watch the games, you'd realize it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Hindsight's 2020 I guess at this point, but you see the trades the Clippers made, and tell me, do you think they're making a push for anything this year? Lakers are more successful with LeBron on the court, and he's still one of the best closeout players in the NBA still to this day. Just look at his fourth quarter stats compared to the rest of the league, especially since 2026 started. But that being said, it's definitely the hardest case. I just don't think it's as clear cut as everyone thinks it is. For narrative reasons, their individual quality of play and overall team success, I would take LeBron over him. Although out of all the people who originally didn't make it, his case is definitely the best. It's probably how he got placed in by Adam Silver.
Alperen Şengün. With no Freddie in the lineup, KD and Şengün have taken turns leading the Rockets offense. Şengün has more games played with better numbers on a better team, so there's no argument for LeBron over him.
Okay, but in all seriousness, it looks like Şengün is also going to be an all-star this year, replacing Shea because he's injured at the moment. When I talk about why he shouldn't make it, I'm going to do the same thing I did with Kawhi. Why does he not deserve it over LeBron? Good for Şengün for getting the all-star nod. But Alperen Şengün does not deserve to make the team this season. He just didn't. Stats-wise, him and LeBron are more similar than you think, and if you think they take turns on the offensive end, then you don't realize how much Kevin Durant carries on the offensive end. Without Kevin Durant, the Rockets lose about 10 to 15 more games this season, and I think Şengün is a good player, just not a great one. The Rockets have plenty of good players, so just because Freddie is injured doesn't mean he should get extra points towards an all-star voting. And I swear, in clutch situations, he more often than not will take a bad shot or miss critical free throws. Like, look at Kevin Durant's reactions on some of these.
Remaining.
And one of these just puts the game away.
Okay, that was someone else airballing and him reacting to it, but the point still stands. Defensive-wise though, Şengün is very rough. He's a lot like LeBron in that regard. Give up buckets on the defensive end but make up for it on the offensive. But 41-year-old LeBron looks better on defense in my eyes. Şengün is one of the better centers in the NBA, but does his individual play merit, even taking away all the narratives, mean he should be a frontrunner for All-Star? No, and I don't really think it's that close in my opinion. You're free to disagree, I'm just making my points. Şengün will definitely improve and be a frontrunner for All-Stars multiple years. I don't doubt it, but when talking this season, I'd take LeBron over Şengün.
Julius Randle, who's played 20 more games, yes, 20 more games than LeBron, with better numbers on a better team. He's a better defender, and he's not cosplaying a second option, waiting for his real second option. He is the second option. If I were him, I'd be furious that I'm not a reserve. The coaches should have factored in availability more when it comes to this vote. I'd understand it if this were the fan vote.
So for Julius Randle, which will be the last player I talk about today, it's more of the same. When he says he has better numbers and a better team, it's not really true. Lakers are above Timberwolves in the standings at the moment, and LeBron and Julius Randle's stats are very similar. Even defensive-wise, I'll give the nod to Randle, but it's also a really close match. They're both second options for basically every game they've been in. Whether or not it's him cosplaying as a second option, it shouldn't really even matter. And I think LeBron is simply more successful on the court. I also think this is the case for everyone I've talked about except maybe Şengün, but LeBron's playmaking and basketball IQ is much higher than the other players, which is something I don't think gets discussed as much when talking about who's better in terms of the All-Star voting. The case of availability is definitely his strongest, playing 20 extra games than LeBron. At the end of the day, that's not what the voters valued when making the decisions. When we talk about who does and doesn't make it, you would have to miss the majority of games in order for it to have a really strong impact on your chances. I personally believe the most valuable players in their time they played should make it, unless they miss the majority of games, which LeBron hasn't. But yeah, that covers everyone I wanted to talk about. They're the ones talked about most when we talked about who should have made it, especially over people like Shet and LeBron. I didn't want to make this video to rip on these guys, even though I kind of did. It was obvious LeBron was going to make the All-Star this year, as long as he didn't average clearly worse numbers. But I think his play over the season genuinely earned his place as an All-Star. That doesn't mean these other guys aren't spectacular players, and they're some of the best in the league. Well, except maybe... But yeah, I hope you at least heard my points out, even if you don't agree. The guy I reacted to, blacktopbuckets, has a lot of good takes, so I watch a lot of his videos, even if I disagree with some. So shout out to him. Anyways, if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot actually. We do a lot of different content on the Toon Squad pod, and we have plenty of basketball content, so be sure to check all of that out. And it's like I always say,
I'm like Luka when LeBron got hurt. Y'all gonna see me connect with an AR-15.